Good morning and welcome to today's midday briefing. Let me start with a short update to the President's agenda for this week. On Friday, President von der Leyen will receive CEOs from European tech and industry companies here in the Berlaymont. And that's for the update of the President's agenda. Now, with regard to the college meeting tomorrow, the meeting of the heads of cabinet is actually resuming this afternoon. It was not concluded yesterday, so we cannot yet share the final agenda for the meeting of the college tomorrow. I can, however, already inform you that we are planning the following press events on a tentative basis, and they will start actually already today. Again, we are expecting an agenda with several points tomorrow. So in order to facilitate your work, what we are suggesting is to spread the corresponding press events over 3 days, so starting already today with a technical briefing as follows. So we foresee a technical briefing off the record and, of course, under embargo on the so-called economic security package today already at 3 p.m. And this is related notably to the Resource EU plan that President von der Leyen announced last month. Tomorrow, we will then have the press conference on the economic security package, followed by a press conference on an EU agenda for cities to drive growth and prosperity in cities. Moving to Thursday, we will start with a press conference on the so-called EU market integration package, which comprises several topics on capital market integration and supervision. We will also have a press conference on a quality jobs roadmap and a press conference on an EU drugs strategy and action plan against drug trafficking. Besides these, and not related to the college agenda, we are planning 2 press events in our VIP corner this week. Tomorrow at 19:30, so end of the day, Commissioner Tzitzikostas will hold a press point with Deputy Prime Minister of Bulgaria, Grosdan Karadziov, the Minister of Infrastructure and Transport of Greece, Konstantinos Kyrianakis, and Secretary of State of Romania, Ionut Cristian Savoiu, following the signing of an agreement to reinforce cross-border connectivity in Southeast Europe. On Thursday, Executive Vice President Virkkunen and the President of the European Investment Bank, Nadia Calviño, will hold a press point on AI gigafactories at 11:30. As I mentioned before, this is a tentative planning. It could still be subject to some changes. We will communicate the final program and timings later today via our usual channels. So please stay tuned. Et en français maintenant, passons à un rappel sur la réunion du Conseil de la santé qui a lieu aujourd'hui à Bruxelles. Le commissaire Vaheli y représente la Commission et les discussions porteront sur la disponibilité et l'offre de médicaments en ce qui concerne l'acte législatif sur les médicaments critiques et le train de réforme pharmaceutique, la préparation en matière de santé en temps de crise et le prochain plan de santé cardiovasculaire. Le commissaire Vaheli participera à la conférence de presse qui fera suite à la réunion aux alentours de 16 heures. Lastly, I would like to welcome a group of visitors that we have today. I understand you are 25 journalists and editors-in-chief from Cyprus and 15 journalists from Austria. We have also with us 14 students of interpretation and lecturers from 2 Ukrainian universities, the Ivan Franko National University of Lviv and the Vasil Stefanik Pre-Carpathian National University. You are very welcome here in the press room and in the European Commission. Some of you are in the booths there in good company with your future fellow interpreters. I hope you have a very good stay and a good exchange of views on your activities. And with that said, we can move on to your questions. We will need to conclude our midday around 12:45 today. So let us start. Yes. Angela. Jennifer, sorry.
Yes, thank you. It's Jennifer Rankin from The Guardian. I would like to ask about SAFE. Following the agreement announced yesterday with Canada, can you tell us what is the entry fee for Canada's participation, whether in euros or in preferential access to raw materials or anything else? And can you tell us, is there a common methodology for how you work out the entry fee requirements for the third countries? So unsurprisingly, was the same methodology also applied to the UK with regard to the SAFE negotiations?
Thank you, Jennifer. Thomas.
Thanks, Jennifer. I can confirm first that we follow the same methodology. What is that methodology? We want a fair agreement for both sides, of course, and a proportionate contribution to be associated to SAFE. What does it mean? It means that this has to be seen in light of potential contracts that third country industry will get from the SAFE loans that our member states are taking. It depends also on the amount of jobs that will be created on the other side, etc., etc. So we're speaking about proportionate contributions. That's one thing. Now, you're referring precisely to Canada. I can tell you that Canada will have to start to pay a one-off contribution of 10 million to the EU budget, and this will then be reassessed. There is a correction mechanism, so this will be reassessed in light of the amounts of contracts that the Canadian industry will get from its participation into SAFE. One little nuance to that is that we have also concluded a separate thing with Canada, is the possibility for our member states to directly buy Canadian products from the Canadian industry, defense industry. There we have negotiated a minimum share of 20% of EU components in Canadian products that our industry can directly buy from Canada. So that's in short about Canada, and let me finish by reassuring you once again, it was of course the same methodology, and we are following the same methodology for all potential third country agreements that we're negotiating under SAFE. Yes.
Thank you. You have a follow-up.
Yeah, thanks. If colleagues will bear with me, just a follow-up question. Would you say the talks with the UK on SAFE have definitively broken down? Could you imagine that they might restart any point in the future? And more broadly, perhaps a question for Paula, do you think this is the breakdown of the talks with the UK on SAFE, do you think this is a sign that the wider reset is stalling and is not moving forward?
Let me start with that. Jennifer, absolutely not. It's not at all putting into question the wider reset that we are very pleased with, and there are a number of topics on which we were working very closely with the UK, and going back to also the agreement earlier in the year, and we are further implementing those. And I would say that what happened with regard to SAFE is pretty normal in terms of discussing a new project, discussing a new initiative. It may face some teething problems. It may face some initial disagreements, which does not mean that we cannot bridge it in the future. And so the door remains open. Anything you'd like to add, Thomas?
No, just maybe to build on that. let's not forget, we said it several times from this podium, UK takes part in SAFE. They have up to 35%. This is already an estimated, of course, massive gain for both sides. So let's not forget that SAFE is open by design, obviously.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Andrea Valdambrini, Il Manifesto Italian Press. According to the Financial Times today morning, the ECB rejected the idea of the use of the frozen asset, the Russian frozen asset. What is your reaction? First of all, you confirm the news, and what is your reaction? Thank you.
Thank you. This one is not for Thomas. We'll come back to see if there are questions for Thomas, but let me take briefly this one. Well, this is part of the discussions of the reparations loan. We are in touch, as I've also had the opportunity to confirm from this podium, we are in touch not only with the member states, we are in touch also with the financial institutions and in particular the European Central Bank. So we are also discussing with the European Central Bank what solutions are feasible, what can be done. And with regard to your particular question on how to ensure the necessary liquidity, we know that this is an absolutely essential part of the discussions, ensuring the necessary liquidity for possible obligations to return the assets, in this case to the Russian Central Bank. So this is an important element of the reparations loan. It is a must to ensure that the EU, its member states and private bodies can always fulfill its international obligations. So in light also of this position by the ECB, we are having discussions on how to ensure that this liquidity can be ensured. So we're basically looking for alternative solutions, and that's part of all the work which is taking place as we speak on the reparations law. Further questions to Thomas, since we have Thomas on the podium. Yes, please.
Thank you, Maria Aroni, Athens News Agency. Thomas, could you please tell us how many member states included in their national plans third countries? And if you cannot answer this now, will you be able to answer this after 1 month? Thanks.
Thanks. Your second comment is right. I cannot provide you with this now because we will first, of course, analyze these plans. I see where you're going to, also taking into consideration your nationality. I don't have this to hand now. And then, of course, we will also check later once our assessment is done. There is no decision taken on, of course, I mean, this is highly sensitive information that we have from member states, obviously. So no decision has been taken on how to publish and if to publish these national plans. So I'll have to revert back to you at a later stage.
Thank you, Thomas. Still to Thomas? There's a follow-up.
Yes, a follow-up. Does this mean that after 1 month, let's say, you will be able to tell us how many member states included in their national plans third countries, and which ones? Will you be able to say this or not? Thanks.
After 1 month, definitely not. I will remind you of the process because then it first goes to the Council, obviously. The Council has to check our own assessment to give their endorsement of the national plans before we can even release initial amounts. So after 1 month, no. In the future, I cannot tell you now.
Other questions for Thomas? Yes, for Thomas, Roland?
Thank you very much, Roland Papit. This is actually a follow-up. So just to clarify, what will be published once the money is being decided and the plans are being adopted by the Council? Are there specific projects? Are there specific amounts will be accessible for the public? Or what is exactly what we will need to, what we will know, and what will the taxpayers will know about these amount of monies later?
It is a very good question. So I think we were pretty open on the tentative allocations that member states have received in any case from us. So I believe I'm not going too far in saying that definitely the final amounts that member states will get following the submission of their national plans will be public knowledge. Now, again, specifically into what this joint procurement will go into what type of defense products, I mean, this can be potentially highly sensitive, of course, also for our member states. So I don't want to here go too far from this podium today as we speak, because I'm not aware personally of any final decision being taken on this. So please bear with us a little bit more.
Yeah. Jan.
Gian Bopiscelli, Bloomberg News. Hi, Thomas. I have a very tiny question. I think to remember that Shein received a request for information from the Commission last week under the DSA. What's the deadline for answering that, and has Shein by any chance already replied?
No reply received yet, and the deadline is indeed end of December.
Yes.
Lea Hillebrand, ID. I have a question, and I hope it's for Thomas. It's on the automotive package and the Verbrenner aus. So I'll come back.
No, it's not. No problem, of course. Let me see just if there are any other questions for Thomas. No, so you can actually go ahead with your question, which will be for Anna Kaiser, presumably.
Perfect, thank you, Anna. So, question I have is that the Verbrenner aus, there would be a presentation next week on the 10th of December. Now it's probably going to be postponed. Could you give us an update on the timeline? And I think it was the Commissioner of Transport that said that it might even be next year only. Thank you.
Anna Kaiser.
On the timing, as has been the practice and the principle as continues to be, we do not make comments on the future proposals and on their timing. As we've always said, all of our timing is indicative, including the plans, the forward plans that we publish online. There is a text in all of them that planning is indicative. What is happening at the moment is that we are still receiving some input. As you know, we received the German contribution on Friday. We're still waiting for some others. It is an ongoing process, and in view of all input, a decision on the next steps will be made. And of course, once there is a decision on the next steps, including on timing, we will then communicate it, and it will be published online as we always do.
Thank you, Anna Kaiser. Other questions for Anna Kaiser? No. Other topics? Yes, please.
It's for Marcus. Nathan Canas for DW. Can the Commission confirm that the EU is considering using trade preferences as leverage against third countries that refuse to readmit their own nationals who stay in the EU has been rejected? Thanks.
It's at the crossroads between trade and migration with Marcus, but it will be Olaf taking it up from a trade point of view.
Thanks very much for your question. I'll start from the general trade perspective, and Marcus can complement as necessary. So, indeed, what has happened last night is that the co-legislators agreed on a revision to the generalised scheme of preference, the GSP as we call it. A brief reminder about what that is. It's the EU's sustainable development trade tool for developing countries. What does that mean? It means that we provide very substantial trade preferences. We remove import duties from products exported from those countries into the EU market. That gives them enormous preferential treatment in order to develop their economies. So we welcome the agreement reached yesterday. We view this as a very positive thing. It brings certainty to the 65 developing countries which benefit from the GSP, as well as to the European companies importing goods from those countries. This is especially relevant, it must be said, at a time of increasing challenges for developing and least developed countries, notably recent increases in the use of trade tariffs. The new agreement will ensure that the scheme continues to provide sustainable development opportunities in these countries, and the new text What's different is that it improves some of the key features of the scheme in responding to the evolving needs and challenges faced by GSP countries, as well as reinforcing the scheme's social, labour, environmental and climate dimensions. So, in relation to your specific question, let's be clear on this. The GSP in its existing form already has conditionality built in. What does that mean? It essentially means that we say to our developing country partners, these are the expectations we have from you in order that you receive this enormously preferential access to our single market and the economic opportunity that provides to you. So, as regards the reviewed GSP regulation, what was agreed between the co-legislators was that certain provisions will encourage beneficiary countries to enhance cooperation relating to the readmission of their own nationals. Nothing more, nothing less. The aim of this update is to encourage dialogue and enhanced engagement between the EU and our developing partner countries in line with international obligations.
Thank you, Olaf, also for reminding us what GSP stands for, Generalized System of Preferences, and how it works in general. Thank you for the question, which allows us to clarify that. Any other questions to Olaf? Nope. Nope. So we can change topic. Diego.
Thanks. To come back to the reparation loan, I didn't hear anything about it in your press announcements for the following days. Shall I conclude from this that the ECB news has delayed a bit your timeline, and or that it was that you never intended to present it publicly? Thank you.
No, don't conclude anything. Also, bear in mind, as I said, that EPPO is resuming this afternoon. And that what I indicated for tomorrow and the coming days is tentative, precisely because the heads of cabinet are still meeting this afternoon, so there could be further elements to be shared. Are there questions? Jorge.
Hello, Paula. I would like to ask about the news this morning from the European Public Prosecutor's Office. They ordered raids into the offices of the European External Action Service as well as the College of Europe. Several houses of individuals were also raided. They investigate whether the EES provided the College of Europe with information in advance in order to win a tender related to the training of junior diplomats. What is your response to these allegations? Did you indeed inform the College of Europe in advance? And can you clarify what was the role of the High Representative back then, Josep Borrell, in this tender? Thank you.
Jorge. And Anita will come in for the EAS.
Thank you, Jorge. Indeed, we can confirm that the police was today at the ES buildings, and this is part of the ongoing investigation of the activities that took place before in the previous mandate, and there is nothing more we can provide you with because there is now an ongoing investigation happening.
Yes, Jorge, you can give it a try, but I suspect that we will not be able to add anything else at this stage. Go ahead.
Yes, it's just if you can confirm that 3 of your officials were detained as part of the operations, and just to clarify, only the premises of the External Action Services were raided, or any other EU building was also raided as part of the investigation? Thank you.
As said, I'm afraid there's nothing more we can say at this stage about this topic. Henry.
Thank you so much, Henry Foy, Financial Times. Are any EAS employees currently in police detention?
The reply is the same, Henry. Nothing else that we can say at this stage about this topic. Irini.
Why can't we know if any EAS employees have been detained at this moment? We're accredited journalists to the European Commission. Thank you.
Absolutely. and there is an ongoing investigation, and once and if more can be disclosed, we will be doing so. Wait.
Who is carrying through this investigation, and who raided actually the buildings? Is it the Belgian police or?
Thank you. I know that this triggers a lot of interest, a lot of questions, and there's not more that we can say other than what Anita shared with you just a few moments ago. Other questions to Anita on the foreign affairs front? Tommaso, is it for Anita?
No, it is not. Sorry, it's on nationals.
Okay, then I have a question online from David. Is it for Anita? David Carretta?
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Paola. David Carretta, Radio Radicale. Since the former Secretary General of the EIS now is Director General in the European Commission, I would like to ask you if this official is involved in this case. Thank you.
Thank you, David. As said, for the moment, there's not anything else that we can share on this topic. Once we have information that we can share, we will do so. Other foreign affairs questions to Anita? Nope. Different topics? Yes, please.
Sabina Rossetta, so thanks. It's a follow-up on reparation loan. You say that you are evaluating what other options are. I wonder if you are consider also involving the ESM, and if there could be private subjects involved or in the possible solution that we are evaluating. Thank you.
As said, yes, in the search for a solution that is feasible, that addresses the concerns that have been raised in the discussions on the reparations loan, we are reaching out to all those who could have a say. I mentioned the ECB as an example. So this work is being carried out, and we are reaching out to all those who could be concerned by any solution that we put forward. Tommaso Galavotti, now to you.
Yes, good afternoon, Tommaso Galavotti. It's just a follow-up on the reparation law. Should we expect a legal proposal also on the two other options that were mentioned? I mean, it was bilateral loans by the member states and EU-backed loan, or only on the reparation loan before the European Council?
Thank you, Tommaso. So I refer to what President von der Leyen said last week at the European Parliament, where she mentioned clearly that the Commission is ready to put forward a legal proposal on the reparations loan. So that's what's the focus of the work is, while addressing the options that had been put forward in a prior letter also shared by the President. But the President mentioned that we are ready to put forward a proposal, a legal proposal, and in that context she was referring to the reparations law. Other questions? Yes?
Yeah, it's true that last week, Gerardo Fortuna from Politico, it's true that last week she mentioned legal proposal, but yesterday in a tweet, now it's called ex post, she wrote, "We plan to table our legal proposals this week." So are we talking about more than one proposal? Thanks.
Yes, even and without prejudging what we will be tabling, even if you are talking just of the reparations loan, this will probably require more than one legal proposal. Any further questions? Yes, Maria?
Maria Vasiliou, Greece. On this issue, still, I sense, I have this, I feel a sense that you're moving away, actually, from the reparations loan as the best possible option, given the reaction by Belgium. What I wanted to ask is, does the Commission now feel that probably we might need to move towards the other two options? Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. You're making a link there in terms of cause. Let me remind you that in the options paper that President von der Leyen shared, she indeed referred to the three options, but she also referred to the fact that these options could be combined. So from the beginning, we have shown flexibility in terms of addressing how solutions could be found to meet what is the ultimate objective, which is to meet the financial needs of Ukraine for 2026-2027, which was a very clear request from the European Council, so at highest level, and which was also reflected in the European Council conclusions from October. So we are continuing to work in that same framework, within the framework also of the options paper that the President has put forward a couple of weeks ago. Yes, Maria.
So in the legal proposal, should we also expect, from a legal point of view, a proposal and a combination of options?
Let me not prejudge what will be the final format of the legal proposal. Bear with us. I think we're very close to being able to share with you the actual proposal. Gerardo mentioned the post by the President, where she was specific that it's still this week. So I think soon we'll be able to all see what exactly does the proposal consist of and how is it structured. Any other questions? No? So this brings us to an end of our midday today. Thank you very much. And as said, plan your week along what we have also shared with you in advance to allow you for an easier planning if possible. Thank you all.